That's why I'm here. I'm here because of this.
Welcome back, guys. The town of Ashaiman in Accra, Ghana, West Africa is currently under siege by the military of Ghana. You heard me right. And this follows the killing of a 22-year-old trooper by name Sheriff Imoro under very mysterious circumstances, which has still been pending to date and remains unsolved. It is unclear who is responsible for his death, as he was found in the early hours of the 4th of March, Saturday 2023, stabbed in the neck and having bled out in this town. The military have since taken siege of this town and arrested over 72 people and counting. This is the true crime story of how a young 22-year-old military officer in Ghana was killed under mysterious circumstances by yet to be identified individuals under circumstances which remain unclear to date. Some say it involves a woman, some say it involves a gang of robbers. But we are here to bring you the facts as have been found out. If you are ready for this true crime story, please just buckle up and let's go. This young police officer had been murdered on the 4th of March 2023, and the police service of Ghana had commenced investigations. But fast forward exactly 3 days after his murder, that's on the 7th of March, which coincidentally is the immediate day after Ghana's National Day of Independence, which is the 6th of March, in a Rambo Arnold Schwarzenegger commando style. Military officers took siege of the Ashaiman township. This was something that has never been seen before. And for people who recollect, this is not the first time a soldier has been killed in a neighborhood and military has decided to step in and render some form of justice for their colleague whilst trying to find the perpetrators. Some years ago, one General Major Mahama was also killed under similar circumstances in a town in Ghana called Denchemboaso, where he was actually lynched under suspicion of being a thief. Now, I digress. So, on the 7th of March 2023, the military, in a Rambo style, took over the township of Ashaiman. Nobody was going, and nobody definitely was coming in. Residents were shaken up. Houses were searched. Some drugs were found, undisclosed quantities, of course, and the military set about trying to establish their own form of justice, while some would also argue that by so doing, they were seeking their own form of vengeance for their colleague. Watch some of these footages, and forgive me if I don't show everything because of my need to comply with YouTube's graphic guidelines.
Face down. Oh, I do mommy. Hey, raise your toss.
Jesus. 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 Hey, God.
So there you have it. These are just snippets of some of the things that actually happened in this town called Ashaiman in Ghana, West Africa, after the soldiers invaded because one of their colleagues have been killed. Now, to the main details and my take on what has happened. So, their actions have been largely condemned. So has the actions of the people who actually murdered this military officer. But these are the stories that are making the circles as far as the root cause of the murder of this 22-year-old Ghanaian soldier is concerned. First school of thought making the rounds in the rumor mill is that this guy was actually not well, so he sought permission from his base to come back home and get himself healed. So he was actually coming to Ashaiman to see his mom. But then he got robbed at a point. And the robbers were the people who ended up stabbing him and leaving him to bleed out. That is the first version of the story out there. Now the second story of the second version of the story out there, is that yes, he was not well. He sought permission to come home to see his mom, but he didn't go home straight away, but instead he went to see his girlfriend. And whilst he was there, it turns out that this girlfriend of his was actually having another boyfriend who got to know about his whereabouts, and this second boyfriend mobilized some people, and then they ambushed him when he left the girl's premises. This has also not been substantiated. And then there is a third story making the rounds, and this story indicates that this soldier actually first assaulted somebody by slapping someone, and then as a reprisal, the person came back with some people, and what happened, and it ended this way. But like I said, investigations are still ongoing. At least the part that is consistent and has been confirmed by the military is that he was actually not well, and he sought permission to go home and then seek medical attention. That is what we are choosing to believe, because at least his command has actually confirmed that bit. For the rest of the speculations out there, I'm sure that as investigations unfold and the days unravel, the facts are going to come out for all of us. But then, there are other twists to this issue. One, the uncle of the deceased is actually very sad because he indicates that the young man didn't die instantly. He actually bled out over a period of time. And this was somewhere around dawn when the whole stabbing thing happened. And this young man was actually screaming for help in a densely populated neighborhood, which needed just somebody to be a good Samaritan and attend to him, maybe by rushing him to the hospital, or even administering first aid before doing so, which could have actually gone a long way to save this man's life. But people within that vicinity actually just didn't pay any heed to this young man's cries for help. If that is the truth, I think that is very disheartening, especially for a soldier who is actually risking his life to protect the sovereignty of your country. And if it so turns out that this person was robbed, then I'm counting on the security officials to actually clamp down on these robbers who, if they committed the murder, are also now murderers, and get them arrested and prosecuted as soon as possible. Rumors have it that, to an extent, it seems the military maybe didn't believe the police would do a good job. That's how come they took it upon themselves to swoop in and do what they did to expedite the process. Although other people have also debated that it's not even within their purview to do that as the military. But let's not lose sight of the main issue here, that a young 22-year-old military person has been killed, I would say senselessly, because irrespective of whatever the main reason is, whether it was theft, it was robbery, it was a love triangle or whatever, nobody deserves to take somebody's life because of these things. And I'm hoping that this is not going to be a recurring thing, because like I said in my intro, this has happened before in a town called Denchem Obuasi, where the indigents of the town lynched a military person whom they accused of being a thief, whilst he was actually just jogging whilst on duty in the morning. And when that happened, the military stormed the town and they dished out their own brand of justice. This form of what is happening in Ashaiman is a bit to the extreme comparatively, I think. But I don't want to judge the military, although I don't condone to any form of violence. But I believe that all the security agencies must coordinate to work on this and bring it to a closure. And I'm hoping that at least, if not for anything, for the sake of closure for the families of this young 22-year-old soldier, the perpetrators of his murder will be brought to book. I don't know if it was actually robbery, because per the reports, his laptop was actually found by his corpse. I don't know which robber would decide not to take his laptop unless something prevented him from doing so, and we would not want to speculate. But then, we wish the family of this young man, Sheriff Imoro, the strength to move on. You saw his mom crying in the intro of our video, and honestly, my heart sank. More and more, it's as though you just don't know what you are going to meet the moment you step out of your own house to get into the world. Anything can just come up against you. And day by day, it seems the hearts of people are getting more insensitive and more wicked as the days go by. Let's show some love towards each other. We are one big family, irrespective of what our social dynamics are. And I believe that at the end of the day, love has to win, and we must make sure of that. Subscribe to the channel if you are yet to do so. Leave your comments in the comment section. If you have nothing to say, at least just type RIP, and let's send some love to the family of this young fallen soldier. Until we see you again, please keep an eye out and stay safe out there. Catch you next time.